Hello kids, today's story is The Ugly Duckling. Once upon a time, on an old farm lived a mother duck. A nice morning, her eggs hatched and popped out 4 little ducklings. But one egg was bigger than the rest and did not hatch. When the egg finally hatched, a strange duckling with brown feathers came out. Well, the brown duckling wasn't pretty. Also, he was bigger in size than his brothers. His brothers didn't want to play with him. And all the birds and animals called him the ugly duckling. He always felt sad and lonely. Nobody loves me. They all tease me. Why am I different from my brothers? Ugly duckling to himself. One day, he ran away from the farmyard. He stopped at a pond and questioned all the other birds. Do you think I am beautiful? Ugly duckling. But all the birds shook their heads in denial. We have not seen anyone as ugly as you. Other birds to the ugly duckling. The ugly duckling did not lose heart and kept on making enquiries. Then one day he came near an old country woman's cottage. Thinking he was a stray goose, she caught him. There lived a hen and a cat in the cottage. The hen said, "If you don't lay eggs, the old woman will pop you into the pot." And the cat chipped in, "I hope the woman cooks you, then I can gnaw at your bones." The poor duckling was so scared that one night he escaped. Once again, he was all alone. He fled as far as he could. And at dawn, he found himself in a thick bed of reeds. "If nobody wants me, I'll hide here forever." One day at sunrise, he saw a flight of beautiful birds wing overhead, white, with long slender necks, yellow beaks and large wings. They were migrating south. "If only I could look like them, just for a day," said the ugly duckling admiringly. Winter came and the water in the reed bed froze. The poor duckling left from there to seek food in the snow. He dropped exhausted to the ground, but a farmer found him and took him to his home. The duckling was fed and pet with kind care at the farmer's house. In this way, the ugly duckling was able to survive the bitterly cold winters. However, by springtime, he had grown so big that the farmer decided to set him free by the pond. That was when the duckling saw himself mirrored in the water after such a long time. "Goodness, how I have changed! I hardly recognize myself," he said to himself. The flight of the swans winged north again and glided onto the pond. When the duckling saw them, he realized that he was one of their kind and soon made friends. "We are swans like you," they said warmly. "Where have you been hiding?" Swans to ugly duckling. "It's a long story," replied the young swan, still astounded. Now he swam majestically with his fellow swans. One day he heard children on the riverbank exclaim, "Look at that young swan, he's the finest of them all." And he almost burst with happiness. So kids, moral of the story is, we are always valued at the right place and each one of us is beautiful and precious in our own way.